Hi folks, my name is F.Tenelli, and today I'm going to give you a little trick or a little exercise that may help you to unite your chiaro with scuro. Let's first realize what we are doing in this particular exercise. Let's call this exercise the way it is sound. Funny way, mini-me. So the mini-me, this sound is called Austin power exercise. Okay, this sound here, mini-me, creates the resonance of the mask. Very, very good resonance of the mask. If you do it right, your mask resonance will be very powerful. And you don't have to do it using low larynx. You just can do it like... What I advise you also to do is to kind of chew this sound, because you have to get used to the very moving articulation part of your sound system and very, very stable larynx or the throat. So on one hand we have articulation that is constantly moving and changing, and on the other hand, in appoggio or one tempo singing, you have this part which is a stable resonance that is provided by stable shape in your throat. Like any other instrument we know, acoustic instruments are provided with a body that creates resonance, and the body is not changing, it's stable. So the same principle is here. So this mini-me first does not unite anything. It just gives you the mask resonance, very powerful, needle-like, not beautiful, but powerful projective force. So let's do this first. Now, after doing this, you might not hear yourself properly, so I advise you to move your hand around this area and find the placement of your hand when you hear this resonance at its best. So let's say continuing the exercise like, then you have to drop it to the mini-me ah, like in English father. So it's a round ah. So let's try to do this. After you discover this maschera resonance, which is not connected yet to the chest, then by yawning down, you bring this resonance, keeping hopefully the chiaro and creating scuro along with chiaro. So let's do this exercise, a continuation of the one that I showed you. So what you have to do here is you see, what happened in the first exercise, that my larynx was in a high position. I didn't care about larynx. And then when I had to sing the full-pledged low C, octave below middle C, I didn't have any choice but moving my larynx down, because when the larynx is up, this small resonance does not support the wave of the low resonance. And that's science. There is no objection to it from the science standpoint. So what happens, the division of the resonance happens when you create separate head voice like this and separate low voice. So when you're singing low notes, you're dropping your larynx. Maybe you don't know that, but that's what is going on. If you don't drop your larynx, your low notes will be very, very poor, not supported. Even you will feel that. And then getting back to the head voice again. So if you do this exercise a couple of times, even not thinking too much about it, the system will try to unite those registers. It may happen just subconsciously, which is the better way actually. So if you do that, your larynx will drop on the low note, and then it will raise again, but not to the same position it was before. And so if you do it a couple of times, your larynx will find a medium position that serves both high notes and the low notes and the chiaro-scuro sound. So let's do it one more time. Let me show first, if you don't drop your larynx, what's going to happen. If you have a note, but there is no support, and I don't feel compression anymore. Consider the camera is lying a little bit, so don't trust the camera sound at all, just trust me what I'm saying. So this is not real supported sound. So if you do the and open your mouth and yawn. Don't be afraid to lose this sound at the very beginning of your experimentation. You may not find the correct position of the low larynx, but if you experiment with that a little bit more, I'm telling you, your larynx will find the so-called medium position that will provide you with chiaro-scuro sound. If yet you have a little bit of problem of lowering your larynx, start with the low. Now you see, when you say, if you say the maschera way, I'm using support, but not appoggio type, sul fiato type, so it's the low abdominals and my throat opposing it and creating this type of resonance. So this voice is projective, but it's disconnected. So let's do it one more time. Yawn. Try to keep the resonance and support. Now, support you feel by feeling of compression here. If you feel like your compression changes drastically, like and you feel like you're losing support, that means that your diaphragm did not engage into the opposite action and let it collapse, and that's why the voice is collapsing on the low register. So this type of exercise is very important. They're important if you do the combination of two, not just projecting your maschera register, but uniting your maschera or chiaro with scuro. And in this particular exercise, that is basically enhancing this resonance and trying to keep or unite it with the low resonance. Of course, you can go up to the comfortable zone. Why I'm doing this? Because this is a visual psychological trick that enables me, or my body, my throat, to follow the movement subconsciously without thinking about it. So, like when you're docking a little bit, when you move your hands down without thinking of lowering your larynx, that movement is helping you psychologically to get to this so-called think low when you sing high type of thing. So that is very important, because when you only engage so-called chiaro resonance, maschera resonance, you will never find a good connection, and basically all of your high notes will be not supported. They will sound, but they will not be supported, and therefore your voice will get tired sooner than is necessary. Thank you very much, and that was F.Tenelli, Science of Singing.